Love, love has the potential to make you go crazy, and it'll put you in a nut house. I learned that early on, literally. Gerald would do like this stuff that would be so shady, like stuff that he knew that would get on my nerves. Let me give you an example. The house, the group home that we were in, started to allow regular natal born girls to come over, during the daytime, and to hang out with the boys, because some of the boys had girlfriends, and they thought it was appropriate with adult supervision to have the girls come over. But the staff members are human, and sometimes they're not just they don't want to just sit around and watch the boys chill with their girlfriends. So sometimes they up watching TV or somewhere else, and the boys are doing what boys do when girls are around and no adults are around, trying to freak. And being that I was the gay, of course I'm not interested in them. What I'm interested in is what is Gerald doing with these girls. So it's funny that when I would try to sneak, like if they would be in the basement, I would try to sneak and listen to see what was going on and look down there and watch and see what was happening. Gerald really wouldn't be interacting with them. He would be interacting with them, but not anything extra. You feel what I'm saying? Nothing extra. But when I would actually come down there where they could see me, it seemed like he would be going out of his way to make me jealous, I guess you would say. And of course I would be going out of my way to act like, who cares? But it was burning me up. It definitely was burning me up and was pissing me off. So, this would happen, these type of activities or these type of shady things on the phone, having conversation with girls, and just this type of stuff that he would purposely make me hear and make me be aware of, just to to make me jealous or to pressure me into having sex with him. That's what it was. It was, if you don't do it, somebody else will, that kind of deal. And me being the stubborn mule that I am, I don't like people playing games. I'm never having. Even to this day as an adult, I don't like when I feel like, even if I want to do what you want me to do, if you try to play games and force me into doing it, it makes me, it kind of makes me feel like you're trying to control me, and I have an issue with that. It's something, this issue with authority, I guess. I don't know, whatever it is, I have an issue with that. So, it started to be a problem. Of course, we were still messing around off and on, but because of where it was on that emotional thing, it started to be volatile. Let me give you an example. We're riding down the street, me, Gerald, and a staff member, and Andrew, the white boy. I told you that a lot of our messing around and that kind of stuff usually started from us playing horseplay and hitting each other, kind of like, elementary kids, how they would flirt with each other, kind of like that. It would start like that because we were young teens, and we were in the back seat of the car driving, because when you are in a group home, periodically through the year, they will give you like a voucher for clothing. Like they'll just give you a allotted amount of money to go buy you clothes for school. Usually it's in the beginning of, at the end of the summer when you're about to start school, and during the right after Christmas holiday, or in the spring, sometime right before summer, somewhere they'll give you this amount of money. So all four of us, me, Gerald, and Andrew, had our vouchers, and we were going to pick out clothes. And we were driving down the street, and he started to play and do all this kind of stuff. And, you know, I knew what it would lead to later. But in the car, you know, I'm tapping him, hitting him back, and, you know, we're kind of just playfully going back and forth. I don't know what he's feeling. I don't know what he was feeling. But he hauled off and hit me. And it wasn't like a playful hit. It was like a real hit. Well, to me, from my perspective, it just was a little overboard for me. And so when he hit me, my instant reaction, just who I am, when you hit me, I hit you back, especially if it's the overboard. And so I hit him back overboard. And of course, it grows. Like from that moment, it grows in the back seat till we are in a full-fledged, bloody death match in the back of this seat. And in the middle of the street while Angela is driving, Andrew is in the front seat and he's laughing like, hell no, and just kind of just making the incident worse. And Angela pulls over real fast and gets out of the busy street and opens up the back door on his side and tries to pull him out of the car. While she's pulling him, I'm bashing him. Boom, 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 boom. Just wearing him out. And so Andrew says, being the asshole that Andrew is, Andrew says, man, you was getting your ass whooped to him. You was getting your ass whooped. And of course that roused him up even more because, you know, the maturity is not there. We are teenagers, and, you know, Angela says, you know, Andrew, shut up, and puts him in and tells Gerald to get in the front seat, and I stay in the back. Andrew gets in the back with me, and then instead of us going shopping, we drive back home. And when she calls the house and says what happened. So when we get there, everybody knows what went on, and so they're coming out to the car to avoid it being another altercation. But when I get out the car, of course, because I got the best of him in the car, he wanted to try to fight me some more when we got home out of the car. So of course, being who I am, I want to twirl too. I'm a twirler. So I'm a fighter. So let's do it. So we're in the yard. We're in the front of the yard, and you know, of course, you know, they're not going to let us, now that they know that this is about to happen, they're not going to let us fight. So they wouldn't let us fight. So, but remember, we were roommates. And so what are we going to do? He sleeps in the living room, and I sleep in the room. And that was our first actual physical altercation. So, first of many. Those months we would make up, and then it would be another incident and we would fight. It would be another incident and we would fight. Every incident I would get the best of him because I wasn't a fair fighter. It wasn't because I was stronger than him. It was because, you know, I'll pick up something and bust your head. I will, you know, I'm not a fair fighter. So the last incident, the head staff members told me basically, and I, you know, because I was young, I really wasn't thinking that it was a big deal, but he was like, well, we are ran by the state, so there's certain levels of liability that we have to respect. And if you're attacking or harming the residents in the house, then you we're liable for that, and we need to remove you. So he was like, if you get in one more fight, you're going to be kicked out. Of course, I'm young, so I wasn't really taking heed to his warning. So there was an incident where we all were supposed to leave and go out of town to, not out of town, to go to, everybody was going in on their weekend passes. And weekend passes are when you go with your family for the weekend or whatever. I had already, and there on this clipboard, we're supposed to fill out the information of where we're going, when are we coming back, and who's coming to pick us up, how are we getting there, all that kind of stuff, so they can they know where we are. So Joe wanted to, I brought the clipboard into the office. The clipboard is usually hanging in the hallway. I brought the clipboard into the office because I was talking to one of the staff members, and I'm writing my information on the clipboard. And mind you, I'm not really talking to Gerald. I'm angry at him and da-da-da-da-da. And he wants to use the clipboard after me. So me being a bitch, and being, the childish person that I was at the time, if we were cool, I would just hand him the clipboard for him to write on the clipboard his information and da-da-da. But instead of doing that, I leave out the office and place the clipboard back in the hallway where it usually hangs up. So he has to come out and get it. I'm not handing it to you. You get it your damn self. So when I did that, he says, "You such a motherfucking bitch." I said, "Oh, your mama's a bitch." And when I say that, we're kids, so of course a mama saying his mama's a bitch is something that's gonna make you fight. So he comes charging at me, and of course the fight. This time, I bit him and he bled, and they made him get like a tetanus shot, made us go get like these shots for when you bite people and all that kind of stuff. But like the head staff person said, you get in a fight again, you're out of here. And that's exactly what happened. They didn't really say when or where or that it would. I kind of didn't know that it was about to happen when it happened. They just told me that I need to pack up my things. When I got done, like a week later, they said, "You need to pack up your things. It's time for you to go, girl. You twirl too much." And so they sent me to this treatment facility. Now, this treatment facility is called Pleasant Run Treatment Center. And this is one of the most depressing times of my life, because it was like I realized that there's some really crazy ass people in this world. And this is like one flew over the cuckoo's nest type of shit. You feel what I'm saying? This is like I'm sitting in you're in this room. You're in this room of this facility, and it's a hallway of a bunch of rooms, and each resident is in the room. And they make you come out at a certain times, and you all are sitting in this common area, and they're the psychologists and the other staff members in this particular treatment center are talking to each individual, and I'm sitting there in this fucking circle, and this is not where I'm supposed to be, because there are people who are crazy. This motherfucker is over here chewing on his shirt. This motherfucker is over here digging his nose, acting stupid and crazy. And then you got this retarded person. This person over here rocking staring blank into the wherever this person is looking. I don't know if he has autism or what. I don't know. All I know is I'm in a circle of these people and they're nuts and I'm not nuts. And I'm like, oh my God, is this because I got in a fight because I was, you know, secretly in love with this dude and he was doing all this shady stuff to me? You know, I didn't, you know, I'm not crazy. I just was fighting. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm not supposed to be here. So I would call my caseworker and my caseworker would be like, sweetheart, well, you can't go back to there because they feel like you're gonna be violent and, you know, this is kind of like the consequence of you doing this and da 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 da. And I'm like, oh, I need to get out of here. I'm not crazy. This is da 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 da. So one of the staff members I befriended at this treatment center, and in the process of I was only there for like 2 months, and in the process of that 2 months we got to talk and she got to get to know me, and she was like, she kind of recommended to my caseworker that I be discharged from this program because it's not appropriate for me to be here because I was not crazy. So my my caseworker took me back to court, and now this is not like a probation. This is not a criminal caseworker. This is a caseworker who works with your you know, your particular ward of the state case. He got the paperwork together to where I would leave that treatment center and go back to the group home, back to the mountain house that I was in. And it all worked out. And I was so excited because even though I was shady to Gerald, I really missed him because, you know, like I said, this is my first, like, love, crush, infatuation, whatever you want to call it. This is my first of that that experience, and I regretted like making it bad and shady and all that kind of stuff. But I really you know, I really missed him and I wanted to see him, and I was so glad that they were letting me go back there. So when it was time for me to go back there, I went back, and you know, we were driving up to the house, and I was like, oh, I get to, you know, I'm back. I get to go back to my room. I get to go back to, you know, back to normal. I'm going to apologize. I'm going to say I'm sorry, and, you know, and really, you know, go back to the way it was when we were always nice to each other, and he would protect me, you know, against like the other boys when they were fucking with me or whatever. Go back to that time. And so, you know, as we were driving up to the house, I was so excited. I was like so excited to get back in the house. And so we pull up to the house, and I get my bags out the back seat of the car, and I not rush, but you know, I go into the house to get my room. And when I go in my room, nobody is there, and so I go down to the basement, and Gerald is not there. He's not in the kitchen. And I go into the staff room. I was like, well, where's everybody at? And one of the staff members, his name is Chris. Chris was like, Gerald ran away. And I was like, he ran away? And he was like, yeah, Gerald ran away about a month ago, and we don't know where he's at. So I was devastated.